This is Channel 253.
On this episode of the Grit and Grain podcast.
I will also preface all this, as I was talking to Matt beforehand, which is a lot of my beer experience is not like taking a lot of notes. It's just like how I was feeling at the time. So within this too, like, you know, some of these would have been because I was, you know, enjoying a beer at a, you know, good evening with, you know, the wife and no kids versus like some of these may have gotten lower ratings because I may have been watching the Seahawks lose to the 49ers on Thursday night and just like in a bad mood.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you.
Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, where we explore and celebrate the craft beer industry, community, and history in Tacoma, Washington, and surrounding Pacific Northwest areas. Thank you so much for hanging out. Let's get to it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Grit and Grain podcast, coming to you guys from Peaks and Pints in Tacoma, Washington. All the cheering. We love Peaks and Pints.
The whole crowd does.
I know. It's wonderful. The whole crowd, everybody. Yeah. All of the whole full room. My name is Matt McLaren. Here as always, Ron Swanner.
Hello.
How's it going, Ron?
Good. I'm very excited to talk to the two cone heads across from me.
What the fuck? Okay. That's pretty good.
You get it.
Yes, I get it.
Okay.
Those movies came out before I was born, but it's fine.
Yeah.
I
just never-
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. A lot of good stuff did.
I'm talking about Saturday Night Live.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Bethany, how are you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. I just never really got into cone heads, but I think I was alive when it came out.
Not those, though.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If you didn't get Ron's joke, I'll make it really clear. We're talking. We're talking to yeah. Our guests today are probably the two people I think that I know of that maybe tried the largest variety of fresh hop beers this year. So Mike McCourt, who you guys know from previous Browns Point episodes.
Hey, guys.
And then my buddy Austin Patjents, actually, who has not been on this podcast, but has been on a separate Channel 253 podcast with Nate Bowling. Both hanging out to talk about fresh hop stuff. What's up, dude?
Hi, Austin.
Michael, how are you doing today, man?
Oh, pretty good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Are you pulling up your notes already?
I know, it just froze. Like I pulled it up and then like right as I did. That's okay.
Okay, so before I even ask you guys like what you're drinking, which I'll do in a second, what was your guys' final tally for fresh hops? Austin?
I ended on 140 as of last night, so
Jesus, dude.
I know.
Wow.
Michael?
That's why I was pulling it up. I think I'm at 146. But that's not a final tally because I'm still drinking them. I have
Yeah,
at
they're
least
still coming out.
at least
true.
10 in my fridge.
It's not over. I don't want anybody to think
Did
that
you
it's
guys
over.
just add Celebration?
I haven't had celebration yet,
No.
but when I do, I will add that. That's usually the last one of the year, right?
It's on tap right now.
It's true.
Perfect.
But the year's it's not over, so don't.
No, it's true.
Yeah, don't anybody tell you it's over. We'll be drinking fresh hops in mid-November, man. Like legit, some of the best ones just came out last week. Well, yeah. Now I want to know what you guys are drinking. Michael, what do you have, man?
Okay, so this is the Old Schoolhouse Fresh Hop Betty.
Yeah, I just actually had that too recently.
It's pretty good.
It's
Betty,
wonderful.
Betty.
I feel like you have rankings in front of you. I'm curious where it lands. Any idea?
Oh, I mean, I don't have exact rankings. It didn't make my top 10, unfortunately. But like,
suck
it's
a butt.
really good. It's really good. It might be in my top 20. I'm not sure, but suck a butt. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can tell, but I sell that beer.
Oh yeah. It tastes better than that. Although I will say I ranked Kapow. That is in my top 10.
Really?
Kapow I like better.
Dude, I was opposite.
Okay.
I thought Fresh Betty was better, but
Okay.
that's okay. That's why we're here.
They're both really good.
Yeah. Austin, what are you drinking, man?
I'm drinking lower cases Polish pills off the Luger.
Nice. Good job. Nice. No fresh hops? Are you just warming up to our fresh hop wars in a sec?
Yeah, I mean, we
Or
brought
are
some
you
fresh
really
hops, so
tired of them now?
I'm kind of tired of them too. Being perfectly honest.
That's super fair, dude.
Yeah.
Move along.
Did it take 140 or did you get there sooner?
I got there a little while ago, but I powered through.
Powering through. That's what's up.
Nobody likes a quitter.
Well, yeah, I just poured. Austin brought some Harvest Brain from Shane over at E9, who we joked about being down at Varietal making this fucking beer. Yeah, and then, sure enough, took some hardware at some Fresh Hop Awards, which is amazing. And speaking of amazing, this beer is amazing. Ron, what are you drinking?
Kapow, pow, 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 pow.
Okay, good job.
Pow, pow, pow,
Is it in your top 10?
Pow, pow. I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Also,
Love to.
LBC sound system.
Bethany, what are you drinking?
The varietal E9 Harvest Brain.
Yeah. And I think Doug's got some of that too. I think Phaedra's pouring some of that. It's lovely. It's nice to like.
I'm also drinking it.
Yeah. Actually,
Where
this is funny because this kind of makes two Tacoma breweries that took some hardware from Fresh Hop Awards because Sig also won Best in Show at Fresh Hop Fest, which is awesome. I can't think of another Tacoma brewery that's ever
Sig did?
placed. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Jeff won.
Yay, Jeff.
Yeah, man, his fresh hops were like Austin and I talked about this. Were like on a different level this year. They were so good,
Cool.
like
I haven't had any
awesome.
Yeah, and he got best of show. He was
He got best of show, yeah.
number one beer at the Fresh Hop Festival.
So
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
which is wild.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Austin and I talked about this, but like Jeff is like somebody who I think is dedicated to like improving everything that he does all the time, and like the difference between previous iterations of his fresh hop beers and this year is like super evident of that sort of pursuit. Like he's always trying to improve, and it was totally different level this year. I had his Mosaic Pale like I don't know a week or two ago when I was going on a smell tour of South Tacoma. And I did that.
Nice.
Somebody's writing a book about how Tacoma smells. But we met up at Sig afterwards and had some Mosaic fresh hop, and it was like, yeah, just easily one of the best fresh hops I had. And it felt really cool that I could just go to like a small local brewery's tap room and have like this world-class fresh hop beer. Cool. But yeah, okay, so you guys both are 120 plus. 140 plus actually,
plus,
yeah,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is fucking bananas. I'm curious how similar your guys' like top selections are.
Yeah, where do we start?
I know.
Yeah, I don't know where you start. I mean, as the banker, I did a bunch of math heading into all this too. So I was like,
Did you?
I was like, how many beers per day was I drinking? How many days did I take off? Like I was doing all that stuff.
Sick. You have stats? That's so awesome.
It's your seasonal stats, right? So at the end of the season, you look at your batting average.
Yeah,
and-
exactly. 100%. So that's
Okay,
exactly
so,
what I was doing.
yeah, average beers per day during fresh hop season.
It was like 2.9, which, you know,
That's
it's probably,
moderate.
Yeah, I tried
not
to pace
bad.
myself for sure. Like,
He's calling you.
3 beers per day is moderate for Bethany.
I think that's pretty good for fresh
also-
hop season.
yeah, I'll also say that was also like a couple of those are, 5-ounce pour, like coming here and doing flights of like 5 or 6 beers.
Oh,
I would-
sure.
there might be 5, but like really as far, like those all counted towards the numbers. So it's probably closer to like only 2 a day, to be honest, of actual pints.
How much gas?
I didn't actually drive that far. I'm just coming here
That's not what he meant.
for the most part.
Thanks.
Sorry, that's my only one. So 2.2 to 3 beers a day for the entire duration of fresh hop season,
Yeah.
which like I imagine you're.
I must be right there.
Yeah,
We're
you have to be
almost
like
the same
right there.
number. But those are different beers, right? Like unique
Yes.
beers.
Yeah.
So it doesn't count if you have the same beer twice, right?
That's also true.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't
That's
have
a-
the same beer twice a lot of times though.
Did you?
There
You
only-
didn't?
Not a few.
Okay.
Just a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get a 4-pack, then you drink the 4-pack over a week or two.
I tried not to get as many
Right.
4-packs just because the budget.
just because of budget.
Right.
Yeah.
Was there one that got away?
Yeah, there were definitely a few that I did not get to have.
But you wanted to try.
Yeah, I have. I don't know off the. I'd have to think about that for a 2nd of like some that I missed. I know Varietal had Trample. They did as a collab that I saw recently that I didn't get my hands on. I can't remember who that was with, but it looked like a cool collab.
Yeah. I'm sad that you missed any. It's heartbreaking that you guys did so much.
We're
I'm
hoping
sure
for
there are.
150.
I'm sure there is like another 100 I didn't have.
Sure.
Couldn't
yeah.
get in time. Especially when I went out to the Fresh Hop Festival in Yakima and yeah, I mean there's like 20, 30, I mean more than that breweries, and they each bring like 2, 3, 4 beers. I can't drink that many beers in a festival, so yeah, definitely missed out on some.
Not with that attitude.
Right. I think Bethany is going to make fun of me for not drinking enough.
Did you drive down
No.
to the Hood River?
No, I didn't make it. Yeah, I probably missed some there. So, hey.
How many beers would you say you were able to clock when you went to Fresh Hop Fest?
So I guess I have to admit, not everyone made it in the list because it was sometimes going faster than I was recording.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was catching up with a lot of people and chatting, but I probably had 15 there.
Okay.
They do small pours, so you can
that's
get
fair.
in a lot of them.
Austin didn't go to Fresh Hop Fest.
I did not. No.
No, so you didn't.
And you
have
still reached that number.
I know. Kind of sounds like
That's impressive. Yeah.
Independence.
I'm just trying to make you guys fight. That's all I want.
We won't do that.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Go
Were
ahead,
most of
Bethany.
them on a draft or in cans that you guys had? Is that in your stats, the percentage?
I didn't record that. So I
Or
don't know.
just off the top of
It's
your
almost 50-50, but probably
Yeah.
a little bit more on draft. Again, I came to Peaks and Pints too, like drinking a lot of 5-ounce pours. But I, had a fair number of cans too, so it's hard to say exactly.
I'd say mine was probably 50-50 split. Maybe actually a little bit more on the cans than on draft, to be perfectly honest, just because I would come in here and I'd buy a ton of cans, single cans, and take them home
Just
and drink them
bounce.
over like the week-long period and then come back the next Friday and do it all over again.
Yeah.
So
Was this a goal before Fresh Hop season? Like, were you guys planning on doing this?
So no, so a couple of years ago, I recognized that when I go to the Fresh Hop Festival that I don't remember what I've had and what I haven't had. So I started keeping track, and I would make a list each season. Okay, these are the beers I've had. So I go to Fresh Hop, and I'm like, okay, I want to try different beers. So I check my list, and I try to get different beers. Especially when there's a line, you got to wait, and then you get to the front, and you're like, okay, I want the one I haven't had. But then I just kept doing it, and finishing the season, keeping track of every beer, and yeah, it's a lot of them. It's probably too many, but it's a lot of fun. I get really excited. It's like Pokemon, right? I'm trying to catch them all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 100%
We
what
get
that
it.
feels
We
like
get it.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, and it's as an adult, it's hard to find things to get excited about sometimes. So this is one thing to get excited about.
That is bleak, but hella fucking true, dude.
Yeah.
These 6 weeks out of the year are my 6 weeks.
146. I'm
Yeah.
adulting.
I've been saving up since January to buy 150 Fresh Hops. No, I feel it.
I got into it last year and made a list that I didn't intend to be as long, and then obviously this year rolled around. I was like, I think I'm going to do it again. I was just talking to Matt, and he was like, well, if you do it, get you on the pod. And so I was like, all right, I'm committed now.
Well, you published the most thorough review, I think, of that year's sort of Fresh Hop efforts on our Facebook nerd group, and I was like, dude, this is so great. And actually, I love it because it's a good way. It's a good resource for people. I even bumped it from last year's post because it's a good resource for people to see if you're not sure whose Fresh Hops to buy. Here's a cool review of who the highlights were last year. And this isn't from an industry person or whatever. It's a consumer that these are the most enjoyable drinking experiences, and that's good info. And last year I think you drank half as many as you did this year.
Yeah, it was
I
probably
think.
only 75 to 80. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
definitely
that's
had
fucking-
to step up the numbers
yeah.
this year.
Those are rookie numbers.
I can see the spreadsheet on his phone. It's insane.
Yeah, no, I definitely have Google Sheets. It started in notes, and then I was like, it needs to be more organized than this.
Yeah.
And I work at a bank, so
I'm going to import this.
in the evening, gotta put it in Excel. Show it to the camera.
There you go.
Oh, dude, that's lovely.
Yeah, I never graduated from Notes. I still just use a Notes app. I guess I'm behind the times here.
Damn it. Michael, you said we have a 4-pack here that we're going to probably try to work through the whole thing and talk about it. But what did you bring?
So this is a homebrewed beer by me. This was a Simcoe Sabro Fresh Hop. So
All
go
right.
ahead and help yourself. We'll pass it around.
Yes.
I'm in.
Does anybody need a fresh glass or?
Sorry.
Where did you get your Fresh Hops?
So from our club, Matt Hibbs drives out 3 times a season to go pick up fresh hops. He orders them through Yakima Chief, and the pickups are all from Peralt Farms.
Awesome.
Yeah, or mostly Peralt. I think he hits Carpenter for the Idaho 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hibbs is the fucking like hero for homebrew fresh hops, man.
Yeah, he takes care of us, and
Yeah.
he's won the most awards too. Like, what is it? Over 7 years, he's won 5 times or something crazy.
Which is bananas. Yeah. So who? I saw the results, but I didn't like catalog them in my brain. How did fresh hop results shake out this year for you guys?
For homebrew, only Tristan won. So
Yeah?
Tristan did win, which is great, but he was the only one, which is like it's really a down year for the club.
I was gonna say that is usually it's all of you guys taking over all of the medals.
So they usually do 4 awards. So they have a best in show, they have a pale ale, IPA, double IPA, and then one year they did specialty, which really meant hazy IPA that year. But then they just said, hey, put hazies with the others. So like, yeah. But the year they had 5, we won all 5.
Yeah.
And then most years we're winning 2 or 3 out of the 4. And then this year, we only won 1. So it was a down year.
It's all right. We'll step it up this next year.
You said Sabro and what?
Simcoe.
Simcoe. Okay.
Yeah, so it's more Simcoe than Sabro, but Sabro is such a bold flavor, it really pops. And this beer, it's a hazy IPA. It's sweeter than I wanted it to be. It kind of stalled at the end, but
Did it?
yeah, I ran out of time too, so I just kind of had to leave it. But
When did you make it?
this would have been like 4 weeks ago now.
Okay.
Like not super, like not like right away, but
Yeah.
it was a while back now.
Dude, still pretty green, man. This is like
Well, when it was fresh, it was crazy intense, and
pretty spicy.
it's leveled off a little bit.
nice. Dude, it's great.
It had that really strong like lupulin burn, like in your face, but that's faded a little bit, which is
Matt,
nice.
what are you getting out of this?
What's your ass to mouth on this?
Sabro is kind of like the coconutty one, right? Or can be?
Yeah.
I don't get tons of coconut. I
You do
definitely
kinda
get
get the
Simcoe.
coconut, for
I
sure.
get, some, but more of the Simcoe.
Well, and it changes year to year. So, Sabro, like a couple years ago, was more coconutty, and now I think it's more cedary, if that makes sense. Like,
Kind of woody.
I get that,
now.
woody, yeah.
yeah, really woody. And then Simcoe is more, I guess, piney, but like, you know what Simcoe is. I know,
Just loves
Oh,
it.
cat pissy.
just a little bit.
I know.
Yeah.
I know Simcoe.
Did you notice, like, because it's some cattiness on here. Did you notice that right away?
Yeah, definitely. Especially with, I don't know, it was so intense that first few days, like it was just in your face. And
Yeah.
Caddy and that cedar character just really popped, and I would like it to be more coconutty.
Like the
Well,
cat was chewing on the Christmas tree.
Right. Well, before
As
we
they do.
started,
Gigantic.
before we started the podcast, we were talking about Wet Coast making a really good Sabro
Yes.
beer a couple years ago. That year, I got Sabro that year and won at Fresh Hop with those Sabro hops.
That's so cool.
And it was just like 100% Sabro IPA, and it was so much coconut. It was a great flavor. But like, I don't know, it changes year to year.
Sure. I know that's kind of the fun though of like fresh hop season is it's like beer is like this thing that is really controllable throughout the entire year. And like obviously harvest can make a difference on like the hop batch that you buy or whatever, but in general, you go and select your lot, and then you're getting hops from that lot. If you're a commercial brewery, getting hops from that lot for the entire year, and it makes for this very sort of consistent thing. During fresh hop season, you have this like very living, organic kind of market that is changing and shifting, and it makes for this sort of thing where like harvest, and vintage make a huge difference on whether or not this beer expresses these things that this hop used to get, or the balance is different. Like I don't know, it's kind of exciting. And actually, we were talking about this too. Is like this is kind of how you end up with breweries that like hit home runs during fresh hop season, where like during the rest of the year their hoppy beers might not be the thing that you're actually hunting down from that. That's how the Wet Coast kind of came up, is like they make great beer, but like I don't know if anybody's like going super crazy for their hoppy beers, not that they're not great, but when that Sabro came out, that was like I couldn't believe how expressive of Sabro this beer was. And actually we have the Old Stove sitting right here, and that was that category of fresh hop for me this year. It's like this kind of underdog brewery that isn't really known for their hoppy beers making this unbelievably expressive fresh hop beer. So I'm going to chug this and pop that in a second.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then Wet Coast changed it up this year.
Did they?
Went longer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Centennial.
Wasn't it like a Keller beer or something as well?
exactly.
Was it?
Murky.
Yeah.
Did you try it?
It's on tap right now.
Oh, is it?
I tried it.
Yeah. How was it?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Shouldn't have asked you.
What does it rank in the
Wasn't- wasn't
140?
A plus.
No.
No, I mean, yeah, my
It's in
grading.
the top 100.
My grading system is definitely like, school grades. So I wouldn't say that I had like any like terrible like beer experiences. Like even a bad fresh hop is like a good beer.
Yeah. That's a good point, actually.
So-
even when it's bad, it's not that bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and I wouldn't say that one was in the bad. If we were grading on a curve, it's not in like the lower half, if that makes sense.
Okay. Oh man, this beer. This beer was brewed a little bit ago too. Like this, it's not like a super recently made beer, but it's still so good. If you guys pay attention, the Old Stove Citra won at Fresh Hop Fest as well, and then took another award, I think, from the Best of Craft Beer, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, they entered it in multiple things, won in multiple categories. And again, it's they're fresh. Their hoppy beer isn't the thing that people, I would say, know them for.
All right,
This is so good.
We got
Was
to
it
bug
the
Scott and
same
Don.
beer? Same beer won both. It deserves it. It's really good beer.
Yeah. Where did you Okay, did you guys do like top 10, top 20 sort of rankings?
I have an approximate top 10. I don't know if you did that, but
I do as well.
okay.
Yeah, do you? Okay, I'm
A
curious.
lot of like moving. There's a lot of like gray areas. Well,
So where did this Old Stove beer land for both of you guys?
it's in my top 3.
Really?
Ooh,
Oh, see, I didn't rank my top 10. I just picked a top 10. It is in the top 10. I didn't rank it
Okay,
further
so
than
top
that.
10 in no particular order.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
it's very like guava.
Yeah, tons of orange
like-
too. Like
Right. It's like a tangerine flavor.
this is like one of my favorite, I think, Citra beers that I've had ever. I think.
Yeah.
Just the most Citra character that I think I've ever gotten.
Love it.
Yeah, it's well made.
I'll share it with you afterwards.
Also, if all of their hazies have this sort of like pillowy, soft, like water profile mouthfeel, I think I've been missing out because it's so good.
They did a cold IPA with Zaka too.
How was that?
Delish.
I didn't try that one.
I think I missed that one.
Yeah, it's the last one they did.
Okay.
Again, it's not over. There's still some to try. This episode's coming out like at the end of November or like the beginning of November. Still some fresh hops out there to try.
We got to let's
How was
bug
the
Don and
Koichi
Scott
this year?
again.
Oh, I didn't have Koichi.
Yeah.
Did you guys get any?
Nope.
Right.
Out of stock.
Really?
Yeah, every time I look, it's out of stock.
I love Koichi Canyon.
Where? You all right, Ron?
Yeah, I'm getting messages from.
Secret.
Forgotten that you have a microphone.
It happens to the best of us.
Man, Koichi was like an early here's what a fresh hop
For
beer
sure.
is. I really didn't have any clue. Chasing Freshies, Koichi Canyon, maybe one other one, and then Fremont started doing their Field to Ferment series after that.
F2F.
Yep.
And they dialed it way back this year.
Did they?
Yeah.
Man.
I only tried
Just
one of them.
Just one.
Okay, that's all.
Oh,
I made.
really?
Yeah.
Well, what hop?
Stay tuned.
Phaedra's got you. Don't worry.
Oh, and while we're on the subject, I think I lost it. I had the collab with Varietal, but it went way out.
Oh.
I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
Bridal did a lot of collabs.
But that
for sure.
well,
They
they,
do.
they do for sure. That E9 collab's in my top 10, and
Yep.
then their other one with Structures, that's in my top 10.
Hyperion.
Hyperion.
That beer
Yeah.
was fucking
sure.
great.
I
dude.
was really happy with that one.
Yeah.
They always do a lot of collabs though. Sometimes they'll have, because I go there once a year, and they will have 6, 7 collab fresh hop beers on tap. It's crazy.
I liked Wetter, Wettest that they did. I think that was the name of it that they did with Ism out of Long Beach. Was really good
So
too.
good, dude. Single Hill does that too. They do the fresh hop rodeo
sure.
every year, and every beer is really different, and they're all very good.
I think between Varietal and Single Hill, probably the two that I tried the most different offerings from, just because they had, I feel like, the most out there as well.
Oh, sure.
Or at least here.
Yeah.
Did you try any Moonraker?
I did
They
not.
seem to take a lot of awards this year.
I didn't have a single Moonraker. I haven't had
Best of
fucking-
craft beer and GABF. I
for
think.
fresh hops.
Yep.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
I love Moonraker so much.
Me too.
I'm so
I
sad
need
that
to
it's
drive
not
my
up
ass
here more
down
often.
there and get some.
Or just tell them to call me.
I have empty shells.
Those guys make amazing beer. Yeah, I know. I'm let's see, what else do we have here?
Did you try any Sun River? They also
No.
won a bunch of awards this year.
No.
Oh, I didn't see any.
Yeah. I guess
Did you get it here, Ron?
Their mosquito fresh hop did well.
That's a good question.
Did you get it here?
What's that?
Did you get it here?
No, I didn't.
Then I didn't have it.
So really, Rod, it's all your fault.
It's 100% your fault.
It is not my fault.
Yes, it is.
Beverage.
Oh, sad.
Always blame the distributor.
Yeah,
Sorry, Mike.
it's usually us.
Okay,
easy
the,
to throw.
The varietal trample was Faction Brewing and Berryessa Brewing,
Oh, we're very estimated.
and the Field to Ferment was Strata.
Oh, okay.
I think Berryessa won California Brewery of the Year or something at their California Beer Awards this year. So
You have a faction on right now, don't you?
Yeah.
I do.
Who are you getting faction from?
Stoop.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. Faction's awesome.
Yeah.
All those California
Smoking
breweries.
Oak, Kazan.
Yeah.
Yeah, what else did you rank really highly? Because I'd like to know.
Yeah, when are we gonna reveal?
yeah, are we could do like a top 10 countdown? I don't know. Like,
Well, just throw out a couple. I'll tell you if they're on mine.
I don't know if this is me sucking up to the crowd, but I put Energy Cone in my top 10.
Yes, you did. It's delicious.
There you go.
It is.
In my head, it was also in my top 10. It was a
really good.
great
Really
fucking
good, yeah.
beer.
Yeah, that one's it's good every year though. That's a great beer.
Yeah.
That was
Just
for the-
let Ron have it, Mike. Maybe just let him.
I had nothing to do with brewing it, though. Not this year.
I'll give Phaedra the credit. You know,
Yeah, totally.
Sure, I was in the room, sorta. No, not really.
you wear a vest, right?
Yeah.
Do we want to go like 10 to 1 or 1 to 10?
Oh, I don't
10
know.
to
1.
1.
10 to 1.
10 to 1. Okay. I had Lad and Lass, their fresh hop mosaic at number 10.
Okay.
Snuck in.
I don't think I had that one.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
really great.
Good to hear. I love them.
Yeah, I tried 3 or 4 of theirs, and that one was my favorite that they had.
Nice.
I think they're really under the radar too. Like I just
They still
don't
are.
think people talk about their beer enough.
Yep.
This beer, the Holy Mountain, the HBC 1019. I thought it was just, I will also preface all this as I was talking to Matt beforehand, which is a lot of my beer experience is not like taking a lot of notes. It's just like how I was feeling at the time. So within this too, like, some of these would have been because I was, enjoying a beer at a, good evening with, the wife and no kids versus like some of these may have gotten lower ratings because I may have been watching the Seahawks lose to the 49ers on Thursday night and just like in a bad mood.
This beer fucking sucks.
100%.
This celebration is horrible.
Yeah.
Energy Cone I already mentioned. The Burroughs Fiddens collab that they did was like, it was Master Ignis. It was like a triple IPA. It was delicious.
I didn't have that either.
Yeah.
You had a lot of others.
Solid.
And,
Wet, Wetter, Wettest, I already mentioned that.
that was great.
I really liked the Sediments of Memory for George Ruse collab. That
Oh,
was
good call. Yeah, that was awesome.
good.
That was early too.
Went in
Yeah.
a second.
Yeah. Hyperion, we just mentioned that one. The Citra from Old Stove. And then Brain Harvest I put up there. And then my number 1 was Fresh Valley Fog by Hedialis. I thought that was just,
That beer
that
was
just
fucking
blew me away
incredible.
early in the season.
Yeah.
So,
All
Yeah.
right.
That was a smoking like early beer too. Like,
Yeah.
like
It came out right away.
First 10 beers I think that
Yeah.
I tried, and was it you that told me
Yeah.
to try it? It was you, yeah. Because RJ was the one who told me to try Hedialis in the beginning, and then you texted me about it. and You were like, "Yo, this beer is bananas," and I think it was here. You had it here, didn't you?
It was here.
Of course.
Yeah, fucking insane.
That, did I say of course?
You said
It's all right, Ron. Let him
Gavin and
know.
I are like this.
Let him.
They also had a fresh hop Italian Pilsner that I
And
had
that
here.
was excellent. Took
so
silver.
good. Yeah,
Dude.
super good as well. Like they killed it this year.
Yeah, you have
fresh hops.
I think 3 varietals in your top 10.
Maybe I don't know. What did I
think
just
you
say?
do. I don't know. Let's crack another beer and we'll
I
find
mean, I
out.
have
Yeah.
2, so like,
Do
I'm
you?
pretty close there.
We're gonna get into your list in a second, but I think we're gonna take a break first. Actually,
Yeah, I guess I do.
Yeah, we're gonna crack another beer. Take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello, Channel 253 listeners. This is Eric Hanberg, your host of the Citizen Tacoma podcast.
And producer Doug.
Sound producer Doug, I understand that you recently turned to Pod Auntie Marguerite for real estate matchmaking advice.
I did, and not just because she's a great friend, but because she's a sterling professional, and she knows the market, and she knows the people who operate in this market.
That's right. She can help you find a particular agent who knows their things, whether it's condos, whether it's, waterfront, undeveloped property, north end, whatever. It's not that, it's not that she's the one who's going to do it. She knows the right person for every single kind of transaction.
Yeah, and when you say she's a matchmaker, that's right, because she will match you with a personality that you can easily work with and aligns with your values.
Absolutely. And you can find out more about Pod Auntie Marguerite at movetotacoma.com, and she will make that referral. It costs nothing to you, and you can know that you get a great real estate agent professional who can help you do what you want to do if you are moving to Tacoma or within Tacoma.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out during the break. As always, a quick shout out to Doug, our wonderful producer, for making us sound. Oh, and to Chris. Yeah, for video. Subscribe to us on YouTube. It helps us out. Algorithm is everything these days. And actually check out Channel 253, fantastic network of local podcasts. If you want to stay connected to Tacoma, it's a fantastic way to do it. And there's great shows on there. And we talked about it being election time, and now is as good a time as any.
It's got a twitch.
Doug's got a little PTSD, I think, from some of those Q&A sessions. But yeah, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Chris. We have new beer in front of us. This is Holy Mountain Fresh Hop 1019. Is that right? Mm-hmm. HBC 1019. Which, speaking of like coconutty Sabro, this is very coconutty to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I get like green, young coconut on this versus that like kind of bitter, like fleshy coconut.
I get that too.
Tons of tropical.
Like a touch of like mango
tropical.
Or something?
Yeah,
too.
yeah, lots of tropical.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mango, guava.
So 1019 was super hyped at Fresh Hop. So like,
is that right?
Yeah, like every conversation I had, people were like, "Oh, 1019 Fresh Hops, 1019 Fresh Hops." Like there was a lot of that conversation going on.
Interesting. So. I feel like that happens every year. There's always like kind of one varietal that comes out as a fresh hop where people are like really kind of clamoring for it. Was 1019 kind of that one this year, you think?
I think so. I mean, I heard a lot about Mosaic and there's some classic hops in there that were popular, but 1019 or the 586, which is now Crush.
Yeah. Crush, yeah.
So everybody walking around Fresh Hop is like, "Have you heard? 586 got a name." And it's like, it's some of the nerdiest conversations about hops. But like, I know. But like half the people at that festival, like they work for breweries or hop companies or like somebody out there, like they're growing hops.
Yeah.
Like everybody out there like knows the industry. And so they're like, all this nerdy talk about hops is it's a ton of fun. Like,
I know. It's like the goofiest gossip ever. Yeah. Do you hear that 586 got a name?
Yeah.
It's Crush with a K.
Crush with a K. And everybody hates that it's with a K. But like,
I know, I'm sure.
But it's a pretty good marketing name. Like, it's probably a good name.
The Fort George Crush Architect was really good too.
Yeah. That one was good. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I did not try that actually. I did not try a lot of Fort George fresh hops. I feel silly for that because I feel like I hype up Matt all the time.
Yeah. No, they're great.
We left off Austin's top 10. I'm curious, Mike, what's your top 10, man?
Yeah, so I didn't number these in any order, but I have two of the varietals on here. I have Energy Cone, but my favorite single hill, sorry to say, Ron, my favorite single hill was Hop Sabotage. Did you have that one?
I did.
It had this like I don't know if it was like white grape or like a gooseberry like character to it that I loved, and it was only classic hops. I'm looking at it now: Chinook, Bravo, Amarillo. Like,
oh wow,
nothing new, but like it had that flavor, and yeah, it was.
That's really cool. I wouldn't expect that at any of those hops. Really.
Exactly. It might have been the combination, or maybe like because they're fresh, they taste different.
Sure.
I don't know.
Or you're already drunk.
Well, I've had it twice, so.
Oh, fair enough.
I had it at single hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least, yeah. So Bale Breaker's another one out there that does a really good job. Like, my favorite from them this year was Winged Rat. They did a collab with Future Primitive.
Oh, sure.
Did anybody else have that one?
No.
Okay, that one stood out to me. It was like a lot of tropical fruit, like kind of like a pineapple orange combo.
Future Primitive is a part of a couple of different fresh hop collabs, including with Varietal, and they are usually come out great. So that does not surprise me.
So I always like Holy Mountain. Holy Mountain stuff is great. Their collab with Brewhouse. Wait, did you mention that one? Yeah, we have that one coming up too.
Yeah.
I didn't put that in my top 10. I put it
Garden
at like
Green?
number 11.
Okay.
Really?
Just
It made my top 10. It was solid. Yeah.
Just because I wanted to shout out Loud and Last, really.
There you go.
That's fair.
I also had Fremont Head Full of Fresh Hops. I don't know if you like
Really?
We had it here.
This year was especially good.
Wow.
I don't know what it was.
I had that.
Okay.
Why are you surprised, Matt?
Paul agrees.
Well, I heard that like some people were saying the last couple of years weren't that good,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
this year was definitely a step up for me at least. So, yeah,
I had it. I don't really remember it.
Ah,
We've all
Not
been
always
there.
a bad
that's the
thing.
meanest thing you could say about somebody's beer.
I don't know.
And then the last one on my list, again, these weren't in any order, but the Mirage, the Before the Rain,
Oh, sure.
That was great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
that one was so good. And then they won an award too for that one.
They sure did.
That was best IPA, I think.
Was it their How's It collab?
How's it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I like both their collabs.
Yeah,
the
Ton State
State
was
was good
delicious,
too.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good.
All right.
Imagine that. They're good at making beer.
I know, right?
Yeah. So he was there too. Michael went up on stage to get his award, and yeah, it was cool to see.
What was the word?
White
White
shoes?
jeans?
Actually, I don't remember now, but he was wearing a hat and sunglasses, so I didn't recognize him at all. He's kind of
Stupid.
Is that what he's
He
known
wasn't
for?
Sorry,
wearing
Michael, we
white.
love you.
We absolutely do love you.
Please come back and
Absolutely.
Yeah. The beer was delicious.
Okay, this is Holy Mountain and Brewhouse. Was that? Yeah.
Yeah, this made my top 10. Well, yours too, right?
Oh man.
Oh, no, the other
Oh,
one.
like number 11. Yeah.
Mike, you said something about how the fresh hop might have presented different, like as a fresh hop. Like they do present different as fresh hops versus like pelletizing and going through the regular process. Correct? From my
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, in terms of tasting notes, Matt would probably know better, but I would say that what you get out of a fresh hop expression, you get a lot of like this. I describe it as grassy or vegetal, but I don't mean that in a bad way. I think Matt's described it as green tea, which is, I think we're tasting the same thing. I
Probably.
think. But then I get a lot different like fruit expression out of like wet, unkilned hops versus like dried, aged hops. So I think a lot of those like more delicate flavors fade over time, and so you're left with. Yeah, you're left with kind of the core like pininess.
Concentration.
And the citrus fruit character sticks around, but the other fruit flavors are more subtle and they fade away.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I would think about it. Is like the more delicate flavors are the ones that are the first to go when you kiln hops, and so if you're good at kind of expressing those through a fresh hop beer, then you have a chance of like those things ending up in your finished beer when you're making a fresh hop, and that's like my favorite thing about fresh hops. We talked about like kind of underrated or sort of like under the radars fresh hops, and I talked early on this year about Easy Being Green from Matchless, which I thought was great. It's probably the best Matchless fresh hop I think I've ever had, and it had a lot of that. It was like really delicate, very kind of green tea, kind of grassy, and it was like complexity that I don't think you would get out of kilned hops at all. So to me, that's like a good example of like what makes a fresh hop really good.
So we're on the next Holy Mountain collab.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that what we're drinking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this smells like it's kind of funky actually.
Yeah, I get
It
like an
tastes
herbal,
great.
minty, fruity thing.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Like a lot happening.
It's aggressive.
It's pretty
That's funny that you mentioned Matchless though, because they did one beer that stood out to me this year, and it was their sour fresh hop beer. It's I'm looking it up. It's Emerald Renaissance.
Oh,
I did not try
is
this.
Saison-ish.
It's a saison, but like
Yeah.
a wild fermented
For sure.
saison
Did you
with
have
fresh hop flavor. It was so
Cool.
good.
Had it here?
It was on tap.
I had it 2 weeks ago.
Okay, that's
It
about
was
when I
really
had
good.
it.
Yeah? It was good?
Yeah, really good. And you know how oh shoot, who is it? Dunel always
Oh,
does.
yeah.
Bumper crop.
Yeah. That's a great
It's
beer.
It's good, but like with the wildness, like sometimes the fresh hop, more subtle flavors fade.
That is true.
But with that matchless, somehow they like popped. I don't know how they did that. But
That's cool.
Makes me really sad because I tried a bunch of their beers, and that was one where like it was just out a couple weeks ago, and I had already had a bunch by them, and I was just like, I don't want another one.
And that was the one.
That's the one that
Easy
got
Bean
away.
Green was that's one that got away from Ron's question earlier. Where now I'm really sad that I didn't try it.
Yeah. Man, yeah, this is delicious. It is kind of like almost mentholy a little bit.
Yeah.
I like not even in a bad way, really. It's like kind of minty. I know.
But like really
Smells like a fucking
fruity,
armpit, actually. But
the armpit.
Bitter and aggressive. In a good way.
just like some of us, bitter and aggressive.
Not your.
dude, as it warms though, you actually get like this really cool kind of herby, sort of like oregano kind of thing.
Well, you're saying that it's mint.
Herbal.
Yep.
Get on.
Definitely
Man.
interesting. Yeah.
It is good.
I like these podcasts where we drink 50 beers.
Not quite. Oh, only like
Or
5.
There's one
140.
unopened.
You got to catch up, right?
In 45 more.
So who were like we've talked a couple times about sort of like under the radar kind of like surprise hits. Did you guys have any unexpectedly great fresh hops from any breweries that you know, maybe don't normally grab beer from or don't expect hoppy beers to really be like hitters for?
I mean, I think that Mirage was a nice surprise for me because I don't know if they did any last year. I don't think I drank any.
Ooh,
But they're,
that'd
you
be a
know,
wrong question.
relatively new brewery, but they do really good IPAs, so maybe it's not that surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lumberbeard was really good too. Like, I'm sure they did some last year, but I don't remember them now. But
They actually do. I love Lumberbeard's fresh hops. I think they're awesome. They do a varietal collab as well. That's really, really good. But this year was for sure their like best year for fresh hops.
yeah,
Citrus
I like.
Yeah.
did really well.
And Mosaic as fresh was also great.
Yeah, that was a great one.
Yeah.
I liked their collab that they did with Uprise Brewing as well. I think it was
Yeah.
Lupulin Lounge.
Lupulin Lounge.
that was my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah,
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Speaking of Uprise, man, like what a fucking like banger, like low key beer maker right now. They're doing so good.
I mean, for me, for sure, I don't know, is it Hedialis? How do you?
Hedialis.
Hedialis.
Yeah.
Just because I've only had a handful of their beers before. I mean, I think they're a newer brewery, so I had 3 of their fresh hops. All of them were here, and I thought all of them were just fantastic.
Fantastic.
So that was
It flew off the shelf.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ron, can you actually talk about Hedialis a little bit as a project?
Gavin Lord, the original brewer at Freem, he's brewing at Living House with Conrad and them, and so he's also part of Living House, but he also is doing his side project with his wife, Hetty Alice.
Yep. So mostly just kind of hoppy beers
Yep.
and a few other, yeah.
Some lagers, yeah.
Yep. So it's Brian Strumke's fast fashion, but for Living House.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they sell really, really well.
They're great beers. Yeah. That's a good call out actually, because it is like kind of this under the radar sort of project. Some nerds do know about Hetty Alice, but like for them to make 3 fresh hop beers that are all like really world class is awesome.
Yeah.
Name for his grandmother.
Indeed. Yeah, all the names are after family members.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Is that how Living House does their naming too? So it makes sense. I thought Stemma had one that I really, really enjoyed that I think it was first pick that I just snuck into like my top. I don't know. After
20-ish.
about like 10, they kind of you can interchange like 20 through 50.
Yeah, I was gonna say 20 to 50 are probably like in no particular order.
Yeah, and then 50 to 140 are definitely in no particular order after
Yeah.
that. It's like,
So Hetty is not named after.
I thought
Fam-
isn't it? Yeah.
It's Living House is named after family members,
No,
but
Hetty Alice is named after her grandma.
so the grandma's name is IPA.
No. Really, are we gonna do this wrong?
I think the brand
It's just
name.
fact checker
brand
Phaedra
name.
that we're talking to.
Brand
Right?
name.
Yes, the brewer name.
One less IPA for Ron next time.
Every day I have to put up with this. Every day.
Kings and Daughters definitely had 2 good fresh hops.
Oh, good call.
But once a year and fill your cup. But I liked both those a lot
Yeah.
last year as well. So.
Sure.
But once a year stood out to me. That
Yeah.
was really solid.
Yeah, what were your surprise standouts, Mike?
I'm looking. I'm trying to remember now, like which ones were better than the others. But yeah, I don't know. Georgetown did this Dalton Fresh Hop IPA. I hadn't had that before, so that was cool.
It's good.
Yeah, they
Did
did
not
a
try
Fresh
that.
Hop Dalton, Fresh Hop Bodie.
Yeah.
How was I did not try Fresh Hop Bodie either.
It was on for a second.
That sure was.
It was delicious. I drank some at the festival, so I had some out there, and
Nice.
it was really well done. Yeah, but they do that every year, so
Totally.
it's a well done beer.
Fresh Hop Johnny was like early. When I went to Fresh Hop Selection with Georgetown, while I was still at Columbia, they had Fresh Hop Johnny like out of the tank. They were filling growlers of it before we all got on the bus. Core beer memory. That was a fucking awesome day.
Yeah, that would be.
This old schoolhouse Fresh Betty is so good.
Dude,
I
Fresh
just got
Fresh Betty
10
was
ounces of
like
that.
I sell a lot of like great beer. Thankfully, I work with a ton of fantastic breweries. I think Fresh Betty might be one of my favorite beers that we got this year.
Yeah.
For Fresh Hop,
It's really good.
Fucking excellent. Betty Mopper in
Like-
general is also just a fantastic IPA.
It really is.
Oh, you
On draft.
But you said you rated Kapow higher than Fresh Betty.
I did. They were both high, but like off by like a point or two. Yeah.
Man, Kapow is always like, actually, it's funny. So like Kapow was the beer that sort of like, after I got hired at Orcas, I sold Old Schoolhouse, and it was actually Robbie who used to own Edison City over in 56th, and he was like, hey, like, because he's actually like, you know, he's very familiar with like the Twisp and like Winthrop area, so Old Schoolhouse was already sort of in his wheelhouse in terms of like beer proclivities, and I knew about Old Schoolhouse, but I just didn't really consider them to be like a crazy, you know, hoppy beer producer. And it was that beer. Like the first year I worked there, he was like, "Hey man, you should when Kapow comes in, you should absolutely buy like a can or a bottle of it because it's like one of the best fresh hops I've ever had." It's a Skookum collab, which makes sense. Like they make great hoppy beer, and it was like the beer where I was like, "Holy shit! Like this brewery is so not what I thought it was." Kapow is great, although I thought that Fresh Betty kind of eclipsed it this year for me.
Yeah, they were both great. Like it's hard to draw that line, but for some reason, just Kapow was better for me this
Just
year.
hit you, yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it's like the finish, like the sweetness versus the dry. It like hits like the right notes with the hops. It's sometimes that's all it comes down to.
Sure.
You guys try any Vice this year?
Yes. They had a lot of really good ones as well.
Yeah, they did.
Hop Matrix?
Yeah, Hop Matrix was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, lunch break stuff.
Yeah.
Which actually
That
they
was also
also
great.
won. They did win hardware for. That's a fast fashion collab.
Yep.
Hop Matrix didn't make it into my top 10 just strictly because I don't know why. I was talking to you about this, Matt, which was I thought the non-fresh hop version that I had in August was like incredible, and like I didn't
Yeah.
almost felt like the fresh hops didn't improve it beyond what it already was. So then I was like, it was just like it
Yeah.
didn't stand out to me beyond.
Here
the
is this
original.
kind of beer again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually totally agree with that. I thought it was great. It was still great, but
Yeah.
like fresh hop, regular Dot Matrix. It's a Moxa collab, and like they're like the highest rated brewery in the fucking world right now. So the fact that they even collab with like a Washington brewery was super sick, and that West Coast IPA is one of the best I think I've had all year. So it was like hard. It's hard when you try the non-fresh hop version. You're like, wow, this is like so next level exceptional that like how could you even improve on it?
Yeah.
And maybe you didn't totally, but then lunch break stuff was
great.
like awesome. I probably my favorite non-IPA fresh hop this year, I think, was lunch break stuff.
I put that one at 12. So
Did you?
again, making room for Latin
I
last.
Did you have linoleum?
I did, but that's obviously not on my list.
Anybody
of
try
fresh hops?
Did anybody try Wetter Than Ezra? Their fresh hop brown ale.
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
I text him.
You texted Ezra?
Yeah, when I was at Vice.
Oh, good. There's like okay, Doug's
All sing.
aggressively flipping me off.
Just need to acknowledge.
That's fine. I didn't plan on forcing any fuck up stories out of these guys.
Oh, why not?
Well,
But yeah, hopefully people. I don't know if you don't know Ezra, it's hard to get that joke. But
Yeah.
if you see Wetter Than Ezra or Better Than Ezra Brown out there, you should absolutely buy it.
it's not a one-hit wonder.
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is good. It is good.
That was the joke.
Yeah. Do you guys have any fuck ups you feel like sharing while you're here?
All right, Grit and Grainers, I'm Sean Jackson, and I fuck up all the God-blessed time, as we all do. So, please do regale us with your fuck-up stories.
I mean, I have, like, it's not like Sean Jackson level, like, almost killed myself.
Nobody has that.
Nothing is. Yeah.
I have, like, a minor embarrassment story.
Sweet. I've got those.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. Do I have to wait for, like, the cut of
No.
the thing? That's in post-production.
That's in post.
You're like, wait, go.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, when I'm, as I do when I'm trying to track down fresh hops in my adventure, I reach out to breweries on Instagram because that's the only way I know to message them. So obviously, Human People are a newer, smaller brewery, and they had a fresh hop that came out and a collab with Cellar Maker, and I was messaging them one night, on Instagram, one-handed while drinking a beer. Are you going to have this? Is this going to make it to Tacoma? And they're messaging me back, which is great. And then my phone slipped out of my hand, and on Instagram you can FaceTime people. And hit the button, and then I picked my phone up off the ground, and it was like dialing, and I thought they were calling me. And then I was like, what is going on? And this is like 10 o'clock at night. Like, and I immediately hung up, and then I was like, sheer just dread and embarrassment. And so wanted to kill myself after that. So that's the Sean Jackson of like death experience. But yeah,
You didn't connect. You didn't pick up.
No, they didn't.
They didn't pick up.
But you can see that they're like available. So like they're talking to me, and then it was immediately offline after that. I was like, good. Like,
They were like, no.
like, why is this person
Immediately
calling
put their
me?
phone down.
Yes.
It ends at the messaging.
Oh shit. I was embarrassed.
I do kind of like that yours was like online, like internet typo. So this week, this is just dumb and me also doing something similar. But I have been like, we changed, like had a staff change recently, and I keep having to like reintroduce myself to people who I've never interacted with. And so I keep referring to myself as the sales and brand manager for Orcas Distributing. And I sent an email accidentally a couple days ago to a brand new account that I had never talked to before, and sales manager auto-corrected to sales mama bear. And didn't fucking realize that until I sent that.
I can see that.
Yeah, dude, I told that story to somebody else, and they were like, actually, it's not like that different. And I was like, okay. So yeah, sales mama bear, Matt McClain.
Very medium.
You got all your kids you got to take care of. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. Somebody for sure has referred to me as the den mother of Tacoma beer.
Yeah, can you start giving out badges for like different drinking accomplishments in Tacoma? Like,
Yes, I'm gonna do that.
I mean, if there's one for drinking too many fresh hop beers, I think like a couple people here deserve
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
I'm making.
Yeah. How are your palates?
Yeah.
All right, Grit and Grainers. Email us at cheers@gritandgrainpodcast.com.
Oh,
Fuck.
I just wondered if Mike might have fucked him. I didn't know.
Nope, Mike's
No,
never
he
fucked
didn't.
up.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt the flow.
With your comments, opinions, and suggestions for new fresh hop beer names, such as Kingdom of the Planet of the Fresh Hops, Fresh Hops Ride or Die, Fresh Hops and Wolverine, Only Murders on the Fresh Hop Farm, and Furiosa, a Fresh Hop Saga. We read and drink everything we receive, and we try to respond as fast as we can. If not online, then on air. You can subscribe to Grit and Grain on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and Stitcher. Please do check us out on YouTube. That's a thing now.
It is a thing now.
Yeah.
YouTube.
I think it's catching on.
Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube.
And check us out on Channel 253, which has been a thing for a long time. And GreatRandPodcast.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for episode notes, beer news, and brutally honest instructions on how to visit a hop farm. Such as when your alarm goes off at 4 a.m. and you're asked, what the hell am I thinking? Sip your coffee and you pull onto the freeway and immediately regret the pumpkin spice. Take the exit towards Yakima, roll down your window and inhale the crisp fresh air. Roll your window up and lock your doors as you pass several enormous signs advertising the 2020 election was stolen. Pull into the hop farm Trudge through the dirt to the main office and you're ruining your suede boots. Ask the receptionist / hop farmer where the top coater rides start. Search what Fuggle face means. Pick up your lone hop in the parking lot. Bask in the harvest glory. A leaf hopper enters your nostril. Scream, then chuck the hop away like it bit you. Vigorously rub your hands on your jeans, leaving a green streaks on your light denim. Breathe. It's okay. Next time you can make an appointment. 5 minutes from your house, you can no longer ignore the need for a fresh hop beer. Pull into the closest brewery. Out front, there's 2 enormous bags full of hops with a sign that reads, "Free hops." If this podcast is not what you expected, please alter your expectations. Tune in next Friday to hear Michael and Austin rate 140 pumpkin beers they drank this season. No such thing as a bad time to visit Tacoma. No such thing as too much barley wine. Tune in next Friday for more sweet chatter. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to follow us at Grit and Grain Podcast wherever you get your social media and catch new episodes every Friday. Cheers.
Channel 253 is member supported. I'm producer Doug Mackey, and I hope you will show your support by going to channel253.com/membership and join. Thank you. Grit and Grain is part of the Channel 253 podcast network. Check out our other shows: Nerd Farmer, Interchangeable White Ladies, Move to Tacoma, Crossing Division, Citizen Tacoma, What Say You, We Are Tacoma, Flounders B Team, and Taco Man.
This is Channel 253.
Get up.